Authority issues. I've been working on mine for a long time. I used to think I just had an attitude problem, you know. You just don't know how to listen, follow instructions, they said. But I've been listening to all of you for a very long time now, and thank God, you guys have shown me so much. I've worked in healthcare, I've worked in law enforcement, I've worked in academia as a teacher, I've worked in education, centralized systems that we've come to depend on. Dependence. Who are we relying on for our well-being? Practically, those are really important questions when it comes to food supply chains and water and electricity. The way I come to understand it is like this. I was born into a world where war is the best business there's ever been, and also imprisonment. It turns out I was born into a world that's been blackmailed. The people that I grew up calling leaders, presidents, prime ministers, these people, turns out, are all part of a big sexual blackmail ring. Everybody's been bought. Authority issues. I've been listening. I've been studying, trying to understand the human condition. Grace. There's no amount of finger pointing we can do. Although it is important that we hold one another accountable, yes, because there are a lot of men up at the top, some women folk too, who have misunderstood what their responsibility is. And there are a lot of us who've been serving in the systems, doing what the good boys and girls should do, and we've been discovering what things are really like. Some of us are musicians, some of us are poets, some of us are dancers, some of us are writers, some of us are lawyers, and doctors and such. The dream is us. I've got an album of music that I'm freely sharing with everyone. I've made the files available for download. You can also listen on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. The album's called The Dream Is Us. That's you and me, you and we, all of us. My name's Trav. As you can see on YouTube and Facebook, I have a long history of social content creation. Not a large audience, but some of you have told me that my work matters. Relevance. What is our responsibility? And who's in charge? Authority. Governance. First, we must learn to govern this appropriately, to allow ourselves to be governed from within. Internal locus of control, some people say. Some people say, great I am. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote an essay called Self-Reliance. Henry David Thoreau wrote an essay called Civil Disobedience. You might check those out. Not so that you can worship those men or just believe them just because they say something, but just ideas you might pass over. Speaking of Passover, Jesus, Yeshua, was the Jew who showed us how to get over our religion, our ideology. Church and state came down on him for his subversive teachings, and that's how it goes. And he told us that we should expect nothing other than that. We've been seeing through the bullshit, right? Yeshua ain't the guy who comes and says, be a nice guy and people will love you. Nope. He was a subversive poet who was demonized and crucified by his people. That's not anti-Semitism. That's archetypal story. He came to his own, but his own could not receive him. He came to the religious leaders and the self-righteous folks who thought that being the chosen people meant that they were above everybody else. And he came healing the broken in body and the broken in spirit. No one ever told me the truth. No one in my family, no one in my schools, no one in my churches, but Jesus told me the truth. When he said, this is going to hurt like hell. When you bring your best, church and state going to hang you up. You're going to feel crucified. It's going to feel like this. And here's what we do. We love, we forgive, we pray for those who have hurt us. We love our enemies. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor like you love yourself, and everything else just passes away. Come on. That's the truth. My 1-year study of the justice system as a law enforcement officer qualifies me to speak on what it's like firsthand to give myself away to those power structures. I was a student of the justice system ground level for 1 year. Concerning the surrender of power, the story I'm really telling is how I took my power back, right? And that's an archetypal story, how we are delivered from unjust power structures. By the waters of Babylon. Every little step we make is the making. Every little detail we find ourselves tending to is also the end product.